I'm going to fly through the news. Look a little bit on Andre Trinidad, because you guys have been asking me, anything on Andre. Well, welcome to 2023, because Fluminense midfielder Andre Trinidad could be on his way to the Premier League, just not for Liverpool. We're going back a year here because basically Bayern Munich are signing João Palhinha, and it looks like that Fulham are going to want to go into the market and sign Andre Trinidad as the replacement for João Palhinha. I feel like we've been here before. So that's the latest on Andre Trinidad, is that they believe that Fulham are about to go back in and bring a player to the Premier League that was almost on his way to the Premier League last time, but Bayern Munich couldn't get the deal for João Palhinha done. Liverpool have put contract talks with Virgil van Dijk on hold until the end of 2020, is one report that came out. Now, Anfield Edition have given this a silver rating, or a number 2 rating. The number 2, ironically enough, is kind of what I'd say about it as well, but I want to know, do you think that there is any truth to that Liverpool have put off contract talks with Virgil van Dijk? I don't see why we would. The only argument I can make for it is, maybe Virgil's so settled and the club are so confident about it and it's so absolutely going to happen that maybe Virgil said, look, there's other priorities at the club you need to do now. I'm grand, I'll be signing, we'll figure it out. The next one came from David Lynch, who was speaking on Anfield Index, and said, I've no doubt that Ederson is somebody that Liverpool have been watching, but it seems to be one that's getting shot down at the moment and doesn't seem to have much momentum behind it. They're still cool that he isn't even on the short list at the moment. Now, my point here was, there's a lot of journalists at the minute who are able to tell us about short lists, who's on them, who we don't want. But if you really have all that information to hand, how about letting us know who we do want? Or at least putting your neck on the line and saying, I believe there's a very good chance that X and Y happens. Because I don't like our fan base just constantly receiving negatives. We're looking at somebody, but he's not serious interest. If you know who we aren't interested in, who are we interested in? Please do share. Next one is a Liverpool job, a new job that is apparently being described as a key role in Arne Slot's backroom staff. So Will Spearman, the club's head of research, has described the new role as a varied role, and it's a performance insights lead within their research team. I don't know. So Liverpool are again looking to expand that side of stuff, which I'm cool about. If data or any of these type of things can help us get a 1 or 2% edge, or even help us in the transfer market, absolutely. Top level football, let's get into it. The transfer window, we're going to confirm as well, will shut on August the 30th at 11 PM UK time. That was a conscious decision, this piece said, from the Premier League to bring the transfer window in line with major leagues in Europe, meaning it will close at the same time for England, Germany, Spain, Italy and France. And the upside of that, of course, is that you don't have to worry about Real Madrid or somebody coming in last minute and taking a player from you and you not being able to do anything about it. So I think this is good. Also, the Prague coach that was on the end of an 11-2 whooping by Liverpool over 2 legs is now the manager of Feyenoord and is going to take over from Arne Slot. It is mad sometimes how these things happen, isn't it? Then we spoke about the opinion piece, and I use that term loosely because it's a weird thing, from Anfield Index, who again I want to point out I have nothing but respect for. I started my own content career there. But this headline of double red exclamation points, Trent Alexander-Arnold will sign for Real Madrid. There's only one reason you post that, and that's for the response. Now underneath it does say, opinion, Trent sees his future with the Spanish Giants. But does he? Like, to make these bold statements, you've got to have something, I think, to back it up with. Granted, if it's an opinion, but there has to be some realm of reason for it. So I'm a bit confused by the whole piece, the point of it. I read the article. I still can't kind of get to grips with it or what the point of it is. But again, it is there. It is a free article. So if you want to have a read of it yourself. Then Salah's contract. And we were talking about this. And who's this that was speaking? Who's this? 1 second. So Paul Robinson, former goalkeeper, has said about Mohamed Salah's situation. What has he got? 12 months left on his contract. So from a business point of view, now is the time to let him go. You're never going to get the 100 million for him halfway through the season. If you're looking at 100 million from now, and if you think that you can recruit and build a squad with that money, then use that money to get his replacement. And I agree. Like I've always said, I do think now is the right time to make that difficult decision. Then we spoke about Levi Colwill and the fact that Bayern Munich have him and Jonathan Tah at the top of their list of defensive targets. And basically my point here is, if Bayern receive any encouragement from Levi Colwill and the Chelsea situation, then we should be right there as well. Colwill is homegrown, Premier League tested, and would be a great, astute piece of business for us. So if Bayern get any encouragement, I hope we're right behind them, and we're trying to figure it out. Because remember, last summer we were looking at him as well. He signed a new deal at Chelsea, believed that he was going to stay on there, develop and become a mainstay of that Chelsea team. But again, as I said, if there's an opportunity, let's dive on it. A bit of an update on Andre. So again, we're going back to 2023 here, but we're not really. It's a current story. Fluminense midfielder Andre Trinidad could be on his way to the Premier League this summer, but not to Liverpool. The Reds were strongly linked with a move for the Brazilian last year, though he remained with his current employers after winning the Copa Libertadores. Sky Sports have stated that Fulham are looking at Andre should they need to replace João Palhinha, who is attracting the interest of Bayern Munich. And I think Bayern Munich will get Palhinha this summer. So Andre Trinidad, we might get a look at him in the Premier League, but not with us. A good bit of news coming out from Lucho, speaking about Liverpool and his future after beating America 5-1 with Uruguay. Sorry, American viewers, don't mean to rub that salt in. He said, "I'm very happy here at Liverpool. It's a great team and club. I always wanted to play there, so I'm very happy and calm. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm thinking about the Colombian national team. That is where we are." So I'll take that. That'll do. And the last thing, and probably the biggest of the whole day, was reports in Spain suggesting that Barcelona are under so much financial pressure that one of the victims of the transfer market could be Uruguayan centre-back Ronald Araujo. The piece goes on to say that he could be available for in and around €80 million, which is about £67 million, and has previously been tipped with a move to Liverpool. Do you think Liverpool should make a move and try and sign him? And the very last tippity thing is again just a little piece on Yaros to say, I think it's time for him to step up to become number 2 if Kelleher leaves. He's been at the club since 2017. We signed him for 300 grand. He's had some successful loan spells. And for me, I feel confident that now is the time to step up. So David Ornstein has just put out some major breaking news that said Erik ten Hag to stay on as Manchester United manager. After talks today, the Dutchman will remain at Old Trafford and hold negotiations over a contract extension. That's going to be fun. I wonder how long into next season before he gets fired. Or are they waiting to see if Gareth Southgate gives them any encouragement after the Euros? Because remember, Southgate's already said if he doesn't win the Euros with England, he probably moves on. So what I hear there is Manchester United have figured out that nobody wants the job or nobody's willing to work under the parameters that Jim Radcliffe is banging on about. So we're going to stick with the manager that we've already had and disrespected for the last month by openly courting and talking with multiple other managers. Brilliant. If I was a United fan, I'd be so confident and optimistic about this, said nobody.